Hi, everyone, and happy Wednesday. The program year is off to a great start, and for the next 8 weeks or so, I'm going to be doing another series of music minutes. And today, I'd like to talk about Psalters. That's spelled Psalter, not SALT. We're not talking about salt shakers. We're talking about a collection of psalms that's gathered together in a book. A book of psalms is called a psalter. And it could be just the words. That's definitely a psalter, but musicians have a special series of psalters that contain musical settings of the psalms. And the reason why we need these is, first of all, the psalm is usually sung in the service. So we want to have musical settings of these. The Greek word psalmoi means to sing. So assuming that there's a choir there and it is a musical service, it's almost guaranteed that the psalm is going to be sung. And if you look in your hymnal, there aren't a lot of pure psalm settings. There are a few hymns that are based on psalms, such as "My Shepherd Will Supply My Need" and "The King of Love My Shepherd Is." Those are both metrical castings of Psalm 23. "O God, Our Help in Ages Past" is a metrical setting of Psalm 90. But they don't include a lot of music just to do a straightforward psalm. And I think the reason for that is the hymnal can only include so much, otherwise it would become too big and too heavy. We have to remember there are 150 psalms, and we rotate through most of those psalms in the lectionary over a certain period of time. So, I'd like to share with you some of the psalters that I have today that cover a few different genres. The first one I'm going to share with you is called the Parish Book of Psalms. And if you look inside, you'll see 4-line staves. This is notation for Gregorian chant. It doesn't look like modern notation. It's a 4-line staff. There's a little C clef. And actually, it's pretty easy to get the hang of how to read these kind of chant settings. But plain song chant is from Gregorian chant, monophonic chant, from the Catholic tradition. There are a few hymns that are based on plain chant. Veni Veni Emmanuel, not a psalm, but it's a plain chant genre. And we usually sing plain chant when the choir is running as normal, pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. We usually use plain chant during Advent and Lent to give a more contemplative feel. So this is a Gregorian version of plain chant. The Episcopal Church also publishes the Plain Song Psalter, which is modern plain chant. It's used for modern notation. And this little phrase at the top, this is what we often do at Holy Trinity. This is called an antiphon. And the antiphon is a refrain the congregation is welcome to join in, and the solo verses of the psalm often are delivered by just a soloist, just a cantor. A very distinct Anglican tradition of singing the psalms is Anglican Chance. And you'll see here's the Anglican Chance Psalter. This is all 150 psalms in Anglican chant. An Anglican chant, to oversimplify it, is a series of chords on which the choir sings the chant in 4-part harmony, usually with organ accompaniment. They might do a verse a cappella or something, but it's usually with organ accompaniment. It can be congregational, but because these can be a little bit tricky and require some rehearsal time, you'll often hear just the choir singing this. There's also simplified Anglican chants. During the fall, during normal years, we do Anglican chant that's based on 4 chords as opposed to the full Anglican chant that runs through the entire sequence of chords. Finally, we have metrical psalms. And metrical psalms, this is an example of a psalter that just has the words. And if you look at Psalm 16 here, it says that this metrical psalter, this is written in long meter, which means that you can choose any hymn that also happens to be in long meter, and you can sing the psalm to that tune. So it's kind of fun to mix and match those different kinds of psalters. So to summarize, a psalter is a book of the psalms. It supplements the hymnal, the musical versions, and these psalters can have plain chant psalms, Anglican chant, or have metrical psalms. So I will see you next week, and we will cover another topic then. Thanks.